right, man, let's talk about was the Detroit Lions 2023 season a success. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button, hit the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications, video live or drop a video. In my opinion, it was a success. I didn't have any expectations for him. Next year I won't have no expectations for him. You know, everybody probably think because they had one good year that they definitely gonna follow it up with a new year, and that'll really prove continuing to following it up with consecutive and stringing years together, having good seasons, will definitely make people forget about SOL and really believe the culture change. Next year they had expectations. There was a lot of media and local expectations for the Lions this year too to meet, and they exceeded that. And every year it's local expectations, no matter how bad it is, how good it is. Everybody said, well, this is the steal to the free agency, or the Lions can do this, that, and third. But this year the media joined in on that and looked at how the division was looking without Aaron Rodgers. And most people like me thought Minnesota would do it, but the Lions proved that they can meet some type of expectations this year. And actually they exceeded expectations. And really showed for about a half and some change that they were better than the 49ers, and that's what made that game hurt the most. The Lions was by far the better football team. It wasn't even close. Every phase of the game, special teams, defense, offense, coaching, but then again, we seen the issue with holding the lead versus Green Bay. Early in the year, they had that issue. Third quarter had been an issue all year. So when you talk about, you hear people saying, well, they should draft all defense. No, there's some improvements that need to happen on the offense too. Offensive line depth. And at the receiver position, they can use a huge upgrade. It's time to bump, Jameson, to being the number 2 receiver to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And there's room for you to add another receiver. You know what I'm saying? It's time to move on from Josh Reynolds and the rest of those guys. I guess you keep the kid out of North Carolina as a developmental receiver, but it's time to move on. Just imagine if they had a threat outside the numbers. And the issue with that as well is that Goff just have troubles going outside the numbers and down the field. But you know what? Not gonna make it about Goff. So, but yeah, I guess if you get him a really good target, a true number 1 on the outside, because Amon-Ra mainly an inside receiver. They get him an outside threat. The offense will look a lot different, a lot better in my opinion. So there's places to improve, but they exceeded expectations. They exceeded the hype. They met and exceeded the national media hype. Now it's time to build on that. With a bunch of money, a bunch of assets, it's time to build on that. Now there's an opportunity for you to go ahead and get a big name free agent, or a couple of them. But I still don't think it's at the point where you should take too much risk in the draft. If the risk you're taking is to move back and add capital, then cool. Only way I'm taking a risk in the draft is at the quarterback position. That's it. That's the only how or way that I'm taking a risk in the draft is at the quarterback position. If there's a quarterback that I feel that can take us to the next level, that's it. Or you really feel that about a cornerback or a pass rusher, something of that nature that can help them. But they've done a tremendous job of staying focused on the goal. Every year it's not going to be peaches and cream. You're going to have turbulence. They had some turbulence in Chicago, turbulence on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Turbulence in Dallas, but all that turbulence you went through, that's part of the season. It's all about how you respond. And after the Dallas debacle, I liked how they responded. After the Thanksgiving debacle, I like how they responded. After losing to Chicago, I like how they responded. Matter of fact, I love how they responded. That's what the season is going to be about. And I think that showed us in Dan Campbell's second year that's what they was about. Started off with 1-6, and they never lost tunnel vision. And a lot of y'all that's talking shit to me talking about they need to move on from Jared Goff, and that's just my opinion. Don't make it factual. It's just an opinion. I believe it's a really good opinion, but that's my opinion. But a lot of y'all was saying fire Dan Campbell, and I was making videos saying, what's the point of firing Dan Campbell? And the only point they said they should fire Dan Campbell if they go 0-16 in this first year. They did. You know? Do they need a lot of help on defense? Absolutely. Do they need a lot of help on offense? Absolutely. Defensively, they can use a pass rusher. Defensively, they can use some interior help. Pass rushing, especially a pass rusher on the inside. But preferably somebody that can stop the run and get after the passer too. And they need 2 corners. You know? So you look at it and say, well, how can we divide this up? That's how you look at it. How do we divide this up? You look for a good veteran corner via trade or free agency, bam, cool. You draft a corner, bam, cool. You know, you look to see who the best pass rusher out there in the draft and in free agency, check that, mark that. And what's going to be hard is to find that guy on the inside. It's a kid from Baltimore that they floating around there with the Ravens. So, with a lot of draft picks, they'll be able to cover a lot of ground. So it's basically what they board saying, what free agency board saying, they draft board saying, well, yeah, by far they are ahead. They're about a year or two. I mean, really, they're about 3 years ahead of schedule. And in my opinion, they would have been at this point last season, in the 2022 season. But what happened was they hedged their bets on a lot of injuries. That's why they started off 1-6. They didn't start off 1-6 because of coaching or because of Jared Goff. You drafted J-Mo, he was injured. Pascal got injured. Anazorki got injured. It was some injuries in the defensive backfield. Tracy Walker went down early. You forgot St. Brown went down last year. DeAndre Swift got hurt, and that changed the whole dynamic of the offense. So they was dealing with so many injuries coming, and that's the ones I can remember. They were dealing with so many injuries coming into that season, and guess what? The injury bug bit them. And that's one of the things that you worry about in the 2024 season is that will you be able to deal with the injuries? That's part of the luck of having a successful season. You know, the reason why Kansas City, and that's why I'm pushing for a quarterback change, or hopefully they can groom Hendon Hooker and get him ready, is because when you have a franchise quarterback, you know, he erases a true franchise quarterback. Mahomes, he erases some of the deficiencies that you have at the position. You know, everything got to be perfect around Jared Goff. You know, and when you got a Tom Brady, guess what? You can shop at Family Dollar or Dollar Tree a little bit because he's gonna upgrade or elevate everybody's play. You know. But by far, man, I think they're about 3 years ahead of schedule. And I feel like last year they could have been at this point. It was just that injuries ate them up. It was just like injuries ate them up. You know? The injuries truly ate them up. So, you know, we talking about where they need to kind of upgrade at. I think a receiver they need to upgrade. Offensive line depth they need to upgrade. You know, pass rusher on the edge, interior pass rusher, and they need corners. And if you ask me that, which one is the most important for them? Oh man, dude, she's driving like grandma. Driving Miss Daisy. But if you had to ask me what's the biggest upgrade that they would need, it's man, to be honest, man, people may not agree with this, but that interior pass rusher run stopper, man, that's hard to find. Lee McNeil really upgraded this year, man, and he really improved. But if you able to get him a running mate on the inside, hey, somebody gonna get 15 seconds. And then I would say the corners. I know it's hard for people to believe, but it's so hard to find really all-around good defensive tackle play. That's hard to find, man. But at corner, I mean, they would try to draft Devin Weatherspoon last year. I think he made the Pro Bowl. Seattle took him right before us. Now, would they wish they would have took Anthony Richardson? I think he went. No, Anthony Richardson went before that, so I don't know. Rumors about them moving up or something. But that's where I'm sitting at. And but you know, had Anazorki been able to work out, oh man, this team probably been, no doubt they would be in the Super Bowl. You know, no doubt. But yeah, defensive tackle right up under, right behind that is the cornerback position. Right behind that is the cornerback position. Right behind that is the cornerback position. So, I mean, we'll see. But we'll see. But yeah, man, it was a huge success. I think they overachieved this year. But I felt like if they wasn't injured in 2022 season, this would have been a similar type of season they would have had without all the injuries. So I think it was a big season for the Lions, man. They overexceeded. I still won't have no expectations from them next year. I feel like this year they had somewhat of a target on their back, and maybe people was like, well, it's the Lions, you know, they got to do it. This year they're going to have a target on their back, but the good thing about it, it seemed like, you know, a lot of these guys got a chip on their shoulder. So you got a team that's walking around with the SOL chip, and now they walking around with the chip where they let one slip away. That's the positive about how that season ended, is that these guys got a chip on their shoulder. They got a chip on their shoulder. They are upset. They are angry. They are irate. You know, I'm just trying to get away from this truck, girl. You know, so that should add fuel to the fire. You know, that should add fuel to the fire, man. For real. So they pissed. They PO'd. But yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think, man. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And that subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, word drop video. Hit the link tree. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or just Spotify and Anchor. I'm sorry. Appreciate the love and support. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Peace.